Welcome into this week's edition of Crossing the Goal Line, brought to you by the U.S. Marines here on TriStateFootball.com. Filling in for Greg Shoemaker, that is Dan Clasgens on your screen, and myself, Brandon Saho, as usual. This week, we're talking state title contenders. Starting in Ohio, Division I, the Colerain Cardinals move on to 11-0 after beating St. Xavier 35-14. Their offense played phenomenal, 23 first downs, 437 total yards offensively, and a lot of that has to go to their quarterback, who's a dual threat, in Alfred Ramsby.
Yeah, Brandon, you talk about Alfred Ramsby. What a special player. Not only does he lead the GMC in passing yards, but he's fifth in rushing in a conference loaded with great running backs. And I think the offensive line really deserves a lot of credit, too. I mean, they just plowed over St. X. They've plowed over opponents all season. I really like the talent at receiver as well. I mean, Chris Davis, he's come back. He leads the team in receptions, looking good there. But Trey Hudson, such a great athlete. DeTwan Smith. They've got 6 guys averaging over 19 yards a catch on that team. It's something we haven't seen out of Colerain. Now, sure, I think that Moeller's a team, even Elder, that could potentially give them a great game. And if they do beat Colerain, I think they're a team that could obviously compete for a state title. But if Cincinnati is going to send its best representative upstate to try to bring some Queen City hardware back, in my mind, it has to be the Colerain Cardinals.
And moving down to Division II, top-ranked Turpin, number 1. They've been there all year, undefeated still. They face a one-loss Franklin team. But, Dan, we both agree that the two teams really to watch, although Turpin is number 1, has the number 1 seed. In the Region 8 semifinals, Winton Woods plays Trotwood Madison.
Yeah, no disrespect to the Spartans, but Coach Rob Stoll and his team has done there is very special. And they could prove us wrong, Brandon. I mean, Turpin could be a team, because they're well-coached and well-disciplined, that makes a deep postseason run. But I think we both agree we're going to have our eyes on that matchup taking place up at Edgewood High School and Coomler Field this weekend as Winton Woods and Trotwood Madison meet. Here's two of the last 3 state champions. Of course, Winton Woods won in 2009. Trotwood last year. They were in the game the year before. There's so many stud athletes on both sides of the ball. Both of them came out in Week 11 and proved that they were much better than their competition, winning their games by a combined 98-7. I can't wait to see what happens in this game. I do believe the winner of this game will be the team to beat come the following weekend in the Region 8 finals, and Turpin's going to have their hands full, but they're going to have to get past Franklin. Let's not count them out. They're a very good team, just 1 loss this season. Going forward, though, into late November, even that first weekend of December, the Turpin Spartans are a team that I just don't feel as confident about their chances as I would the winner of this Trotwood Madison / Winton Woods affair.
Right, and speaking about confident teams, you look in Kentucky now as we move down south to that Ohio side of the river, as Newcath has a good chance at Wayne State now advancing to the regional semifinals after beating Gallatin County 49-13, really dominating opponents right now.
They're looking good. They got off to that slow start in their non-conference slate there, 1-5. They've really been putting it to the opponents and their peers at the Class 2A level. Now, there are some other teams in this state that are going to be formidable opponents down the road, but Newcath has a team that you got a quarterback in Kane that he can get it done on the ground. He's efficient through the air, but Dylan Hayes runs as good as any running back at the Class 2A level in the entire Commonwealth of Kentucky. I think that senior is going to be able to carry these Breds for a deep postseason run, and one that could very well end up with them playing in Bowling Green there on that last weekend of the season with a chance to bring home some hardware. If they were able to do it, it'd be the 3rd straight year and their 2nd time in that span that the Class 2A championship has come home to Northern Kentucky.
And you talk about Kentucky football, great playoff teams, traditional powerhouse. We can both agree that the Highlands Bluebirds are a favorite in Class 4A.
Well, they're hands down the favorite. And, going for that record 5th straight title, Coach Mueller and his team clicking on all cylinders right now. They haven't really been challenged as of yet in the playoffs, and they probably won't see a challenge possibly in the regional finals next weekend. The winner of that Johnson Central Covington Catholic game, whoever that would be, is going to provide them a nice challenge. But I would be very surprised if Highlands doesn't bring home another title. But, of course, they can't rest on their laurels. They're going to have to go out and win some football games, and I'm sure Coach Mueller's going to make sure his boys does that.
Right, and for more high school football news, don't forget to check out TriStateFootball.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter @TSFootball.